now the final speaker of the against group, Mr. Murray.
Thank you. I just wanted to wrap up by, apart from anything else, answering, if I can, some of the questions from the hall. First of all, somebody said, should you close mosques for more cohesion? It very much depends what's being taught in them. If there were mosques, and there are in my country, which teach values against your country, which host speakers who condone acts of terrorism, then yes, I think that those places should be closed. As with any subversive institution, the state has rights, the state has the right to draw its boundaries where it sees fit. I think we've had a terrific example tonight of something I didn't actually get into earlier, but it's one of my sort of pet hobbies in noticing in debates like this, is that our opponents, you've just heard it from Anna, she said before, Islam is not in favour of extremities. I do wish she wouldn't sit in Athens and say that, but go and tell that to people in Tehran, for instance. Go around and tell that across the Muslim world, where exactly those extremities that people have talked about tonight are practiced every day. You said then that Islam is all about peace and love. I said at the beginning that our opponents must be either naive, ignorant, or worse, and I want to wonder about which of those you fall into. But you see, we've seen the flip side of this, as always comes up. So a lady at the back of the audience said, what about the West? You had the Crusades, the World Wars. Is anyone actually going to fall for this? The idea that Islam is peace and love, but the West is just wars? You think Islam hasn't done wars? You think Muhammad didn't do wars? You don't think that from the beginning of Islam, war was part of Islam? It's just the West that is guilty of these primordial sins? This is a common motif, and it has to be tackled, because it suggests that all Muslims are born into innocence and all people of the West are born into guilt. And it's a terrible, terrible thing to say. Finally, the issue here is whether or not you reward illegality. I think it's a very bad precedent for any state to reward illegal behaviour. Greece has the right to draw its parameters. And finally, it would. Somebody said earlier, somebody said that I listed a negative list of speakers from the East London Mosque. I'm terribly sorry not to have listed all the wonderful ones. But let's turn it the other way around. Say there was a church in Athens, an Orthodox church, where there were speakers on a fairly regular basis who taught the murder of minorities, let's say Muslims among them, who taught the murder of people who left the Greek Orthodox faith, and so on. Do you think it would be bad manners to mention it? Do you think that people would say, well, I wish you'd focus on the nice sermons that got taught in that mosque? It's so negative of you. And so, but this is what happens. People are treating the West by a different standard. Europeans by a different standard. They are talking up and absolving Islam of any crimes and accusing the West and Europe of all crimes. I hope you realise where naivety like that leads. Thank you.